CNBC TV 18 Weekender.
Vishwabir Ahuja was for the longest time identified with Bank of America, where he spent 29 long years in Hong Kong, London, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata and Chennai, doing loan syndication, credit appraisal, forex trading and everything that foreign bankers normally do. So in 2010, when he appeared to leave Bank of America in a huff and join a little-known Ratnakar Bank, finance experts mostly thought this was a seminal career blunder. But 7 years later, Ahuja's career move looks like a masterstroke. Ratnakar Bank has become RBL Bank, the deposits have grown 15 times and loans have grown 20 times. What makes this man tick? That's what we are trying to find out today. Thank you very much, Mr. Ahuja, for joining us.
Thank you.
Actually, this was the big seminal conflict in my head. I've reported on you in all your loan syndications and your forex days when I would ask you where is the dollar headed and stuff like that. And suddenly I couldn't ask you all those questions because you were in a different scenario, as it were.
Sure.
How did you manage? I mean, isn't it a culture shock? How did you transit?
So yes, it was a big decision, but it was a decision that was in the making for at least 3 to 4 years prior to the move.
Oh.
Yeah. I was very clear that there has to be a long-term innings, to my professional life. Basically, work is my main ethic. And honestly, I want to work till the last moment. And if I'm not working, I do not know what else I would be doing. And it has to be meaningful. So a career in a foreign bank, cannot take you to age 75, 80 and all of that stuff. Yeah, so
you wanted your own thing.
Yes, and that was the second feature, that to ultimately take all the learnings that one has had in professional life and then have the dream to build an institution which has got not just size and scale, but a certain level of, if I may say, dignity, of respect from all stakeholders. Yeah?
No, it has social meaning also.
That's right. And because I'm a very India-centric person, basically whatever I do, my strengths, my brand equity is within the, if I may say, Indian ecosystem and within the tentacles of Indian society.
Okay. So you came as a team. Who were the other people with you?
We came as a team. So my immediate colleague and now executive director of the bank, Rajiv Ahuja, Guru Murthy, who was my colleague from Bank of America, Shanta, and a couple of other very close, if I may say, very close friends and fellow bankers, very seasoned bankers, all best in class. We were very clear, we had similar aspirations and similar dreams.
And did you have to shift headquarters for some time out of Bombay?
Yes. Actually, for the first 6 months, I literally lived in Kolhapur.
So what did you do? Y'all changed perhaps brick and mortar to a lot of computerization. Did you have to handhold and do some HR training and stuff like that?
All of that. So it was across the whole spectrum. It was people, process, technology, branding, products, services, talent acquisition, the whole works. So it was 100% or a 360-degree transformation.
And there wasn't resistance?
No, so that's the part I'm saying. That's the transition management piece. So we were a bank which had a 100% unionized workforce. There was a officer union and there was a workers union.
Clerks union.
Yeah. And literally, that is how the bank used to be run. The technology was outdated. In fact, branches were manually run. And frankly, for that reason, unable to grow, raise resources, and in a way step out. And that was also the reasons why the bank was actually going down. Yeah.
Okay, so you could, of course...
It was in that phase, if I may remind, that the bank was under moratorium of RBI. So it was in that very critical phase that we said that here is an opportunity which can be converted into a possible deal where RBI will happily, perhaps, allow this, if I may say, new set of people to come in.
I'm sure they would have been happy.
They were very happy.
You got a willing response.
Yeah, absolutely. When we raised this thought with them. They said, nothing better than professionalizing an institution from within rather than merging it with an existing bank.
Fair point.
Which is how it was done previously.
It was done, with other banks. Okay, now let me come to, several other bankers at that time, my sources.
Yes.
For instance, Shyam Srinivasan went to Federal Bank and he's made a success of that.
Yes.
Murli went to DCB. It was all around the same time, maybe aage piche.
Yes.
But would you all meet?
Yes. So, very much so. Murli and Shyam are both very dear friends.
Okay.
Yeah. And we still remain constantly in touch. And of course, so was Ramesh Sopti, a very dear friend. And...
Oh, yes, another foreign banker to Indian banker.
Yes.
Okay.
And several others. I mean, and in some senses, I had great mentors in Ramesh, in Aditya Puri, and to some extent in Mr. Parekh.
Aditya Puri is the original foreign banker who went to an Indian bank.
Absolutely. And
so you all used to meet? I mean, meet at pubs or...
No, I had the initial, for the first 12-15 months, I would literally meet Mr. Parekh, Aditya Puri and Ramesh Sopti once a month, at least. Okay. Yeah. And they were good guides and good mentors. Okay. They actually in many ways helped us succeed. Okay, I give a lot of credit to their largesse and generosity, to allow somebody else to sort of come up like this. Of course, HDFC Limited, even invested, was an anchor investor in the bank. Okay. So the very first, set of investors that came in, HDFC was the anchor.
They walked the talk.
They walked the talk, and their support has been there from the very day one. But even as we were building the systems, the operational, if I may say, apparatus of the bank, and many other aspects, of what not to do and what to do, one would get guidance from, say, an Aditya Puri or a Ramesh Sopti, who had sort of done it effectively and done it well previously. So they have been very helpful, and I have no hesitation in acknowledging that again and again and again. Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
What were the first things you changed at Ratnakar Bank?
Yeah,
I mean, in terms of goals, or in terms of going from SME to corporate banking. What exactly were the?
Absolutely. So the bank was, like I said, very small, very localized, and frankly speaking, serving local businessmen and traders. Okay. Total size of the bank in terms of loan book was 948 crores.
Really?
948 crores. The total balance sheet...
That would be a moneylender's...
Exactly. The total balance sheet size was less than 2,000 crores. Okay. So when you gave those numbers initially, it was on a very small base that we have grown. So in some senses, yes, it looks,
no, but even then,
yes, sure. But the point I'm making, it was so small that... Actually speaking, one had to therefore build a new bank in many ways.
Okay.
At the same time, handle some of the legacy challenges.
And what was the biggest challenge? Was there a mindset challenge?
So yes, there was a huge mindset challenge among the people. They never believed that, first of all, this is possible. At the same time, they felt that something has to be done. So essentially, one has to go there as a benevolent, if I may say, change agent. And, say that, look, I have no axe to grind. I mean, given my past, that was helpful, that I'm giving up a lot. And honestly, I mean, being a small old private sector bank, the salary level was less than 4% of my previous compensation.
Okay. Oh, your first salary was as low as that?
Yes, absolutely. Less than 4% of my previous compensation. Yeah. And so basically, I used all these things in a genuine way to say, look, what am I getting out of this? I have giving up this to do this. I have moved away from home. I'm living amongst all of you. Yeah. And what am I going to get out of it? We have to, whatever we achieve, we have to achieve together. It was my money that I put into the bank.
Okay. Oh, you were also personally an investor.
Absolutely. Yeah. I used my last rupee of retirement benefits, from my previous, and I sold whatever little real estate assets I had, and I went all in, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
this is big.
Yeah.
This is walking the talk.
So it was very much entrepreneurial in that sense. We were inspired by two models. Yeah, when we were doing this, what was our main inspiration? It was Infosys and HDFC Limited. Yeah. Why Infosys? Because it was, again, an endeavor of, if I may say, seasoned players, senior people, who created a dispersed leadership architecture, built a professional institution,
Absolutely.
and created financial well-being for thousands of people.
That's true.
Yeah, so we followed that model and we gave stock options to the lowest common denominator in the bank, including the bank driver, chaprasi and peon.
Okay, we have to take a break, but we are coming back to check out what's the road ahead. I didn't expect this to be a business conversation, but some numbers after this break.
CNBC TV 18 Weekender.